You know, there's a new theory out about what killed the dinosaurs. Some people are saying maybe lack of oxygen is what actually killed the dinosaurs. You say, how could lack of oxygen kill a dinosaur? That doesn't make a lot of sense. Well, here's what they say. They say an 80-foot-long Apatosaurus had the same size nostrils as a modern-day horse. Not as the horse, but as the horse's nostrils. Never mind. Anyway, this 80-foot-long animal is trying to suck wind through nostrils the same size as a horse's nostrils today. How is he going to breathe? He would have a very, very hard time breathing or snore really bad, one or the other, okay? This guy couldn't breathe in today's environment.
There is no denying that oxygen content used to be higher than it is today. However, this was tens of millions of years ago, which you don't even believe possible. In any case, that's not a new theory at all. The paper you're presenting is from 20 years ago. Like most of your other shit, your so-called evidence is outdated. And to conclude, there is nothing about the physiology of a nostril that prevents something from obtaining oxygen. The size of the nostril is largely irrelevant, so even if dinosaurs had lived in relatively recent times, their small nostrils would not have asphyxiated them. This is probably one of the lamest arguments I've ever heard.
But what if there was that canopy of water? And what if it did give us more atmospheric pressure so that every time you breathe, it's easier to breathe and you get more oxygen into your system? Interesting. Then he might have been able to live no problem. You know, they find amber, which is petrified tree sap. Sometimes they find air bubbles trapped inside this amber. When they examine the air bubbles, they realize these air bubbles contain 50% more oxygen than what is in today's atmosphere.
And these air bubble containing ambers, according to the article that you're referring to, are millions of years old. Get a clue, Eric.
Interesting. Today's atmosphere is 20.9%. This stuff has 35% oxygen. Wow. Now, I don't know if you realize this, but under those conditions, if you had, say, double atmospheric pressure and increased levels of oxygen, get this, under those conditions, not only would your hemoglobin take on oxygen, but your plasma would get oxygen saturated. You guys have no clue what that means, do you? That means you could literally run for hundreds of miles and you'd never get tired.
I call bullshit. Oxygen content is only one of many factors with regard to muscle use.
Adam and Eve didn't need a car. They could run to grandma's. Except they didn't have a grandma. Or a mother-in-law. I think that's why they called it paradise. But anyway, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. My wife has a fantastic mother-in-law. She is great, I tell you. She really is good. But yeah, under these conditions, life would be very different than the way it is today, in today's world. The original world was good, man. Let me tell you, it was really, really good. Now, the sun is sending down x-rays down here, and all day long, you and I get x-rayed from the sun. These little x-ray bullets are coming right through the buildings that you're in, right through your body, right into the ground, and every single day of your life, you're getting x-rayed by the sun. You guys know what an x-ray is, right? It's one of those things, if you ever go to the hospital to get an x-ray, they put you in this little room, they tell you to take off all your clothes and put a gown on. The gown that they give you never comes together in the back. It's a little bit embarrassing, okay? Then you come out, holding your clothes and trying to hold the gown together. They say, okay, we need you to walk down this hallway about 12 miles. When you get down there, you should see the x-ray room. All right. So you finally make it down the hallway going like this. You get down there, you get to the x-ray room, and the guy says, oh, I'm glad you made it. Come on in. And he makes you lay down on a freezing cold table, okay? Freezing cold table. I mean, you start to stick to the thing if you're not careful, all right? Then he puts a funny-looking machine over you, tells you to take a deep breath, and then he runs away. You say, wait a minute, Doc, what's going on? What you doing? He says, well, we're going to have to x-ray you. You say, yeah, I got that part figured out, but why are you running away? He says, well, this machine is dangerous. You say, well, then what am I doing here? He says, oh, no, don't worry. It's not dangerous if you're only going to get a few, but overexposure to x-rays is very dangerous. So that's why he runs and hides behind his lead wall, because lead or concrete or a certain amount of water will stop harmful X-rays.
What the fuck, Eric?
Water will stop harmful X-rays. Water will stop harmful X-rays.
Water will stop harmful X-rays.
Water will stop harmful X-rays.
With all due respect, what the fuck are you talking about?
What the fuck are you talking about?
The fuck are you talking about?
The fuck is this?
What the fuck is this?
What the fuck are you talking about?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Fuck. What the fuck are you talking about?
What the fuck are you?
What the fuck's going on?
What the fuck is this? What the fuck?
What the fuck you thinking, man? What the fuck are you talking about?
What the fuck is he talking about?
What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
What the fuck are you talking about?
No, Eric. Water is about as good at stopping X-rays as a piece of paper is at stopping an artillery shell.
Interesting. So they put that machine over you, they take an X-ray, these little X-ray bullets go through your body into the table, into the film that's underneath the table, and they actually expose what's inside of you in reverse image, which is why, by the way, many radiologists have a negative outlook on life. I don't know if you've met any of those, but I certainly have. Now, your skin has to battle the war against these X-rays, okay? And after several years of battling the wars against the holes that the X-rays are putting in your skin, eventually your skin's going to start to give up. It's going to start to lose the battle against the X-rays. And eventually your skin's going to start to get wrinkled up.
Eric, we understand perfectly why aging happens. We know that it is an overwhelmingly biologically driven component of life. And we know that X-rays have nothing to do with aging. I don't understand how people can buy this crap. I just don't.
That's what's going to happen. Yeah. You say, Eric, I don't want to get old and wrinkled. Okay. Die early. There you go. Problem solved, right? All right. So the interesting thing, though, is the sun is sending down these X-rays to us all the time. What would happen if there was a layer of water that surrounded the Earth's atmosphere that filtered out the harmful X-rays from the sun? I wonder what life would be like then. You know, it's interesting. The Bible tells us how long people lived. The average age before the flood really was, according to the Bible dates, 912.
And according to the Harry Potter books, Dumbledore lived to be over 150.
Some people say, Eric, you don't understand. A year wasn't really a year back then. A month was a year back then. Yeah. To get their real age, you got to divide by 12. I don't think so. Did you know that Enoch was 65 when he had Methuselah? A couple of people were 65 when they had children. Let's see, 65 divided by 12. That means they were 5.5 when they became a dad. No. They didn't count every month as a year. They really did live to be over 900 years old. Not only did they live longer, they also grew a whole lot bigger back then.
Actually, Eric, our hominid ancestors were shorter than us. As we evolved, we actually got taller.
Here's a statue of Robert Wadlow, tallest man of last century. Robert Wadlow stood 8 foot 11 and a quarter inches tall. Here he is next to his dad and his brother. Big boy. Absolutely enormous boy. Lived in Illinois, all right? Robert was a big boy, but he's not the biggest one that's ever lived. They found a skeleton in a coal mine in Italy of a guy 11 feet 6 inches tall.
Carl Baugh, the author of the book in which this picture appeared, said in a phone interview that he obtained the picture from another creationist, Clifford Burdick. Baugh was visiting Burdick's home one day, and Burdick told Baugh, "You want this?" and added the little story that it was of a skeleton found in a mine in Italy in the 19th century. No more verification was apparently asked for or added by Burdick, who soon died after turning over the picture to Baugh. So the story begins and ends with Burdick, and with what Baugh says Burdick said, which is precious little in the way of corroboration. Seeing as the existence of this skeleton, or even the mine in which it was supposedly found, has never been confirmed, I am confident that no such skeleton was ever found. What you see here is nothing more than an illustration accompanied by an anecdote.
How'd you like to have him on your basketball team? Yeah. That would be nice. Hey, throw the ball to Herman. Drop it in, Herman. Good job. Go down there and do something now. Okay. Now come back down here. Wow. That would be absolutely a lot of fun. They have found unbelievable skeletons, I'm telling you guys, from, I believe, before the flood. A skeleton 9 feet 8 inches tall was found in a burial mound in Indiana. A skeleton 10 feet long was found in Nevada. They found 8 giants together, skeletons of them, ranging from 8 to 9 feet long.
In all 3 of these cases, neither photographs nor scientific journal citations were provided. These seem to be inconsequential personal accounts, on par with claims of seeing Bigfoot and aliens. So where are those bones now, Eric? What happened to your giants?
They say, through the bungling of the diggers and the total disinterest of the Archaeological Museum establishment, these discoveries have been scattered and lost. Excuse me? How do you lose a 9-foot skeleton? Where did I put him? He's gone. That does. And why would you be disinterested in it? Wouldn't that generate some interest? Unless you believe in evolution. See, according to evolution, we evolved from primates. And we're supposed to be getting bigger and better, stronger and smarter. And this kind of goes against the evolution worldview, the religion of evolution. So you might have to cover up some of that stuff.
Just a second. Eric is claiming that evolutionary scientists cover up the existence of giants. Clearly, he does not understand the scientific method. The purpose of science is to understand the world around us. Real scientists want to understand the world around them instead of fabricating or omitting evidence just to conform to their worldview. That sort of behavior is unique only to creationists like yourself, Eric. I will admit, though, that quote that he presented does sound suspicious. Who the hell is this guy you're quoting? Well, I looked him up, and he has nothing to do with evolution, archaeology, or even the issue under discussion. The author of the book from which this quote was mined, Jim Brandon, is an American author who writes about conspiracy theories. And what was it that you said, Eric?
They found 8 giants together, skeletons of them, ranging from 8 to 9 feet long. They say, through the bungling of the diggers and the total disinterest of the Archaeological Museum establishment, these discoveries have been scattered and lost.
Jim Brandon wasn't a they in this incident. A typical creationist move here, quote mining and misrepresenting opinions. Speaking of opinions, you want to know Jim Brandon's opinion of John F. Kennedy? He believed that the president was assassinated by alchemists. Rarely do I see such a sloppy, despicable form of quote mining. Someone show this to Potholer54. I think there's a Golden Crocoduck nomination with Eric's name on it.